Oh, I think that one's dead. What's up? Welcome back to Finnegan's Garage. Big moment here for all of us, me and you. This is my 10-year anniversary on YouTube this month. This is also the 400th time I've dropped a video on this platform. That's hundreds of breakdowns. Countless times I've blown up the Hemi and blasphemy, road trips, tech tips, fun. 400 times we have faithfully uploaded content for you and for me to enjoy, and so we're celebrating. Right now, if you go to fsmgarage.com, you can enter for free a sweepstakes where you could win my mini truck, or a Holley Sniper 2 EFI, or autographed FSM swag. I mean, we're going all out. And in this episode, I'm gonna show you a $10 hack for making sure your carbureted V8 never vapor locks again. It's my way of saying thank you to all of you who have stuck with me for 10 years and continue to support me here on YouTube. Appreciate every single one of you. Happy Sunday. All right, behind me is the limo truck, which means it's in Georgia because we're in my garage. However, the last time you saw this thing, I left it in Texas because I ran out of time to get it home.
This is going to be attractive for them. Parked right out front. No one will stop and say hi. Victory!
And in between then and now, my friend Keith Turk, who is a psychopath, jumped on his motorcycle in Alabama, rode to Texas, met up with Aaron and Emily Reeves of Flying Sparks Garage, put his motorcycle on the trailer with Stubby Bob, jumped in the limo truck, and tried to drive to Georgia. And he broke down, no joke, probably every 20 miles. It was wild. When I left that truck in Texas, it was perfectly fine. And the Reeves didn't do anything to it. It just sat there. However, it was hotter out when Keith tried to drive to Georgia, and that's what bit him in the butt. Between Texas and Georgia, he changed the fuel pump, he changed fuel filters, he had to start this thing in traffic about 37 times using brake clean down the throat of the carburetor to get it to light off every time he shut it off. Like, it was a mess. And when he got here, it was late at night, he looked like he had gone to war and got his butt kicked. But I high-fived him, gave him a welder he needed out of my garage, and then said, sayonara. You know, I'm sure he'll never want to talk to me again after what he went through. If he does, I'll be happy because I really like him. This all started with Keith telling me he was going to take a motorcycle road trip somewhere. And I said, well, how about Texas? And here we are. This is a sick motorcycle. We'll get Keith to talk about it, but I'll tell you what I know. It's called a Modus. They only made a couple hundred of them. That is 2 cylinders worth of LS engine inside of this thing. And everything is carbon and amazing and fast. And this is what Keith rode about 800 miles from Alabama to Texas to get the limo truck and Bob back home. Can we hear it run?
Yeah. Want to hear a V4?
Yeah.
Want to hear a V4?
Want to hear a V4 LS run?
Come on. Sounds healthy.
Yeah. Dude. Wow. That's a lot of motorcycle.
It's
So is it 1650 cc? Is that what it is?
yeah, 1650 cc. Basically LS architecture. So they use the cathedral port design of the heads, and they used LS7 rockers, lifters, push rods. Even the crank journal is the same size as an LS.
Wow.
Their theory was essentially the LS is such a great engine. Wouldn't it be cool to have a 4-cylinder motorcycle based on the LS? So, really long engineering, drawn out deal of going to Michigan and finding the people that knew how to build engines. Brian basically designed the motorcycle, the clay model and all that stuff, but the reality is building an LS engine in a 4-cylinder was pretty crazy.
What is it weigh?
A little over 400.
And what's the top speed allegedly?
I mean, it actually set records at Bonneville.
Really?
Yeah, it actually set a couple of pushrod records and killed them. I mean, like put 50 miles an hour on them.
Wow.
170.
Dude.
I've only been 130 or 40 on it.
Allegedly?
Maybe.
Yeah,
I know it was
what we can talk about.
It was at night coming back from a buddy's house, and 2-lane road, and
Lots of permits, closed
just-
road.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Wick the throttle on, and I was like, okay, this is stupid. I'm going way too fast for this road. But anyway, they're a lot of fun. It's a different kind of motorcycle, not particularly well refined, but a lot of fun to ride.
So then the truck was home. I said, Joe, drop the tanks, please, and check the pickups out because maybe the socks are junk. And as you see in this footage, they were absolutely junk. He also found a rubber line missing a hose clamp, fixed that, so we could have been stuck in air. There were things that were not right with this thing, like from the jump, right?
This is our new sock. Here's our old sock. This one's smaller, but look how hammered that is. That thing is toasty. It's probably pretty old.
So the other day, he and I hopped in it to go to Mo's Speed Shop, and we tried to road test this, thinking it was all good. But it wasn't. So Chris, just sprinkle that footage in here of us trying to go 20 miles and it taking 3 hours. You like free stuff, I like free stuff. Why not win a free car from Finnegan Speed and Marine right now? Now, I don't want to give away just anything. Let's give away something no one else has got, like my mini truck. This is a 1985 Nissan 720 ST. What does ST stand for? Sport truck. This is the one that came from the factory with the color matched steering wheel, the tilt wheel, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, a tachometer. This thing is badass. It's lowered. It rides on Porsche alloys. It is one of the most unique vehicles on the road. I guarantee you win this, no one else is gonna have it at the next car show you go to. This thing even has a car phone. And although it lights up, it doesn't work. You can still look cool holding it like Zach Morris, but you can't really make phone calls with this, but it does have a color matched pager. And whether you're a doctor or not, everybody looks cool with a pager. Now, you don't have to buy anything, right? You can go to my website, fsmgarage.com right now. There's details on how to enter the contest that could see you win this truck. However, if you buy stuff, you get more entries to win. So you buy some sticker packs, you get entries. You buy a t-shirt, even more. You buy a hoodie, even more. We're also giving away cool stuff, right? You don't win the truck, you can win a Holley Sniper 2 EFI kit. Put that on your own project car. We're also giving away prize packs of FSM swag. Autograph hats, shirts, stickers, all of that stuff at my website right now. Between April 10th and May 10th, you can enter to win. Good luck. It's almost ready to road test, but I thought rather than road test it right now, let's just open the bed up because the bed has precious cargo. What's in here gives us hope for the future. And by we, I mean, it's Joe. I can't do nothing, man. I can't even hold the camera right now because I'm about to fall over, and I'm just gonna pivot from one leg to the other while Joe does everything. So when I was in California, my scheme was to not only get the limo truck and Stubby Bob home, but also a couple of different motors and some parts and tools I had out there. And so Joe is digging out, like I said, spare wheels. But there are 2 motors of varying sizes in here and a bunch of cool parts and tools. And these motors go to some very special projects, which we'll talk about here in a second. But for now, I'm just gonna sit here and be sore. And happy and sore. Okay, there.
I've already gotten the real heavy thing out, which is that monster snap-on jack, which was incredible for lifting this truck, let me tell you. Like it made our other cheapy jack I used on the front, it took every bit of that thing to get the front end up in the air, just because how long and heavy it is.
Yeah.
This thing lifted the back like nothing.
Yeah, that's why we got it. It was a Chevy crew cab dually that got stretched into a 6-door, and it is heavy, it is long, and a average part store jack will not safely lift it. All right, so let's show them what's behind part number 1. Now, if you watched the episode where we road tripped across America, you already know what's in here, but if you didn't watch that, then I will tell you. So that there is an all-aluminum Chevrolet Performance bow tie V6 engine. The kind of engine, loosely speaking, that you would find in a Chevrolet S10 pickup or a Blazer, that sort of thing. The old 4.3, that is essentially what this is, except this was built for Busch Series Grand National racing in the late 80s, early 90s. And because it's racing stuff, you don't have the cast iron block that has core shift and splits in half at about 500 horsepower. That's an aluminum block set up for a dry sump oiling system. And that aluminum block is filled with CP pistons, Carrillo connecting rods that were custom made for this setup. On top of that Chevrolet Performance block are a set of Brodix 18-degree cylinder heads. Underneath those aluminum valve covers are Jesel valve train. Long story short, I collected all these parts probably 13 years ago, and this was the motor that was going to go in my wife's El Camino, and it was going to be turboed, and it never happened. And at one point, all these parts ended up with Freiberger, and through a series of horse trades, it ended up back with me. And my friend James Bostic finally assembled it, and this is the engine that will go in the Rotson. You know, as soon as the Alabama boys blow up that Ford that's in there, which could be in 10 seconds, this is the motor that will go in there. So the Rotson will be V6 powered again, just like it was when we first built it.
I don't know. They put some abuse to that thing during sick week. It held its own. It ran a 10-second pass.
Yeah, but they still weren't wide open. You know what I mean?
I know.
They still haven't been wide open A to B, and I think when they do...
Maybe you think that's what's saving that motor's life?
Yeah. The fact that when they first put that, 351 in there, it had axles that blew up every...
Right.
They never went wide open, and even when they put the solid axle in there in the back, the 9-inch, they still weren't going wide open because the clutch was slipping, you know. And so I think when they finally go A to B wide open, boost turned up, kiss that motor goodbye, and then this will go in. That's a cross member for this truck that a real nice guy in Albuquerque gave me that we probably should have put in, but we were trying to save time and didn't. And so that goes for the limo truck.
For what, the trans?
That's a trans cross member that has cutouts for the exhaust to go through.
Oh.
And if you roll this stuff forward, we could show them what's behind it.
Let me try that.
Which is exciting. Oh, look at me being helpful.
Oh.
Look at me being
The
helpful.
first bit of help I've had in weeks.
Don't get used to it.
Don't get used to
Still
it.
got 4 more weeks of friggin' crutches.
I don't know which one I'm more excited for, to be honest with you, because this one and what it's going in is it'd be so cool just because of what it is.
This one is fun to look at.
Yeah.
The car that it's going to go into doesn't need it, won't appreciate it, and it's going to be dangerous. And this one, unfortunately, is not done. It's missing the valve train, so it's not like we can throw it in tomorrow and fire it up, unfortunately. We've got to source some valve train components for these cylinder heads. But this one has a great story. I'll tell the story while we unwrap it. My friend Hunter owns a shop called JS East Valley Garage in California.
It's a little woo.
He races Bonneville, and he builds a lot of Hemis for people at Bonneville. A lot of top fuel Hemis for people at Bonneville. And he had a dual plug Keith Black aluminum cylinder head with water jackets in it. Water jackets means you can drive them on the street. I had the other one, and I mailed him the original crank out of the Blasphemy Hemi. I mailed him a tunnel ram, some other miscellaneous parts, and he assembled this dual plug Keith Black Hemi. And that's actually an aluminum Keith Black top fuel engine block that was windowed, that he welded back up, remachined, put back together, and painted, so you can't tell it's aluminum. You can't tell it was windowed either. And this is now a dual plug, dual mag Hemi with the tunnel ramp that will ultimately go in dumpster fire, which it should not go into.
No.
Dumpster fire is going to break in half at any moment. But man, is that going to look cool. Oh man, that's cool looking. you can just make out 2 spark plugs per cylinder, which this does not need. We're gonna run it on gasoline and drive it around on the street, but it's going to look awesome.
That's gonna look cool in there.
Yeah,
Not that there's room for it, but we'll make it fit.
it'll fit. That
You
is
think it's loud now?
sick.
Wait till we put fender wall headers in it.
We might have to actually put real mufflers on it.
Yeah.
That is cool. Good news. We think we have a better fuel system. Let's find out. We need to go to Dallas to Mo's Speed Shop and pick up the 98 GMC, which you guys haven't seen in a long time. We made some changes to that thing. It has tailpipes now, thank goodness, because my wife will ride in it, I think, because maybe now the smell will be behind us and so will the noise. We also have wheels and tires on it that will hopefully hook at a drag strip, because the billet specialties, as cool as they were, with the Falcons, no traction at drag strip. And that LS, the Texas Speed motor with the Herb supercharger, that thing makes some ponies, and so it was great burnouts, no acceleration. So hopefully we have cured that with better Mickey Thompson tires and some forge lines with some bead locks on them, and like I said, tailpipes for my wife. Anyway, we're gonna road trip this thing over to Mo's Speed Shop and go check in with those guys and pick up that truck. And then I get to drive it, because I haven't driven it in so long. I get to drive this, the limo truck, for the first time with no trailer. Like, I've never driven this with the new big block and no trailer. So we get to taste test all that Bostic Racing Engine's horsepower out on the road with no load. And if my kids are nice, maybe I'll give this thing a bath and take them to school tomorrow in it. I don't know why I like driving the biggest trucks possible. It's not like I'm overcompensating. I just enjoy the challenge. All right. Forgot, we don't have a choke hooked up on this thing. We're running a little lean right now. All right. 19-to-1 air-fuel ratio. Carb might need a little adjusting, or it'll get better once it warms up. All right, off to Mo's Speed Shop. Let's go. Oh, remember that? That's the gold medal we got when we broke down on the side of the road, randomly ran into the son of a guy who had a house with all kinds of cool cars, and apparently he used to own 6 Raceway in San Angelo, Texas. And these are one of the medals he used to give to racers, and he gave one to us. That's pretty sweet. A little memory. Mo's Speed Shop, 17 miles. Oh.
Proceed to Old Mill Road, then take the first right.
Gas is really expensive, but check this out. I just downloaded an app. If we go here, 2.3 miles from where we're at, we can save 36 cents a gallon.
Wow.
That's on diesel. It's even less for regular gas. Dude, right on. So I gotta go there and claim that, buy the gas, and we save the discount instantly. All right, we're off.
Road.
Oh, this is already more fun to drive without a trailer. If I remember right, when we got to Shay's shop, one of the inner tires had like 5 pounds of air in it.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't know it. We were driving from California to
With a lot of weight.
Las Cruces, New Mexico, with a trailer and motors and all that, and no air in that tire.
Yeah. Stubby Bob is no light Bob.
Oh yeah.
You got some moves, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Dude.
Next stop sign.
Maybe we need to race this at Turn and Burn, dude. Maybe we can do the dial your own class or
Do
something.
they have a limo class?
I know, but I think they have like a dial your own. Like you just pick your ET and try and nail it every day. Just leave
yeah,
it.
the DYO.
Crossings
Yeah,
ahead.
like just leave it and drive and go. What if this runs like a 14?
That would be crazy, dude.
We could load the bed down with tools and stuff case
I
someone
don't need
breaks
any
down.
extra weight.
No, in case somebody breaks down. You know?
Oh,
Because it's, you know, the turn and burn thing, it's all at one track, but
Yeah.
you go out and come back every day, you know, to different
Right.
destinations. Oh, I love this truck. I'm definitely giving this a bath this afternoon and taking the kids to school in it tomorrow. Dude, it shifts at $6,000. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. This is a 4L80E. Actually, it's an 85. Gearstar built it. It's got a lockup converter. So this thing just putts down the highway in overdrive, locked up with the trailer. It's so quiet. Before, when we had the stock 454, not only would it never lock up the converter because of the load, it wouldn't even go in fourth gear because it was so gutless. And the top speed with the trailer was like 63. After we put the new motor in it, we were going up mountains at like 70 miles an hour, not even wide open. Thing's a beast. And it's tuned really well, look at that. 13.8, just cruising along. That's an out-of-the-box Holley 4160 carb that we didn't jet or anything. Didn't touch it.
just tuck it on there.
Bolted it on, set the idle, and off we were. So the 4160 is an interesting carb because it has a primary metering block. The secondaries are vacuum actuated. There's no secondary metering block. So you're limited in tuning, but out of the box, it's a great like towing, driving, you know, carb. I like it. And like right now, we're going 40 miles an hour at 1,300 RPM. Hardly even trying. I'd say the fuel system's fixed. We've gone further than Keith ever went in this without breaking down. Sorry, Keith, I love you, but I don't know what happened. So I think in the end, it probably needed the pickups and the tanks replaced. Those look like crap. There was one or two fittings that didn't have a hose clamp on them. Could have been sucking air.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the driver's side tank, the hose going onto the switch did not have a hose clamp on it.
Right.
And after talking to Keith, he did tell me that driver's side tank, he had more problems with that tank than he did the passenger side.
Yeah, that's my recollection as well. Like, it would work occasionally, but most times not. Do you,
This sock on this side was worse than the driver's side too.
yeah. Well, that was the thing is, throughout most of the trip, if you stayed on this tank, everything was fine. But by the end of the trip, apparently for Keith, even that tank didn't work.
Yeah.
You know? Did you ever end up hooking up the return line?
No.
So I wonder if that would help us going forward.
There's no return bump.
Right. If you went back to a stock style mechanical fuel pump that had the extra port for the return, if that helps, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right now it seems happy.
As I was walking up to the house right now after lunch, I'm like, big wheels, laid out.
Yeah.
It looked cool because it's so long.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is it's still a C30 up front and in the back. They just stretch the middle. So all these aftermarket kits for these trucks would work on this truck,
Yeah.
you know? There are so many companies making IFS kits for the front end that raise the cross member up or, you know, rebuild it completely and bolt on back halves for these things, weld on back halves, like.
It would ride like a dream with airbags.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it rides good now. Like, so like crew cab dualies have the exact right wheelbase so that when you go over bridges,
To get that buck.
they buck
Yeah.
because of the wheelbase. This doesn't have that. This, you feel nothing. You just drive. Back in the day, I wrote an article in Mini Truckin' Magazine about spring-loaded titanium blocks that you would bolt to the side of your mini truck, and they were spring-loaded so it would keep them down, and you would drag titanium on the ground and make sparks. It's one of the first articles I ever wrote. It was like 2000, 2001. Devious Customs installed it. Devious Customs did it on I think it was a Mazda mini truck. Uh-oh. Switch tanks quick. Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. Okay, so broke down in traffic. A lot of cars trying to get by us. And we got no fuel in our carburetor. And this is after putting new pickups in the tanks. And new pickups in the tanks. The only thing we haven't changed is the fuel pump, and maybe we need to.
Keith changed it.
Who did?
Keith.
No, we haven't changed it. That's what I'm saying. For a second, I was a little spooked because a cop was behind us, but he just pulled around us and took off. We're gonna crack open our fuel filter, make sure that's not clogged. And then I believe this nice guy's got a chain, and he's gonna drag us out of the road. We could roll backwards down this hill off to the side if we could get people away from the back of us. I think you have to take the hose off.
Think so?
I hear a chain. There we go. Let's drag it out of the street. We'll get out of these people's way.
Okay. Yeah, go slow around the corner because without power steering, that thing's hard to turn and it's long. Go ahead.
We're around the corner, so that's good news. I don't know where I'm going. And we've left Joe behind. Bye, Joe? I don't know where this dude's dragging me to. Whoa. Easy, guy, easy. Okay, there we go. Well, it is a beautiful day to be broke down in Georgia. Not a cloud in the sky. Grass is green. And nice people pull over with chains to help drag you out of the way so they can get where they're going. We are right now installing our old fuel pump that may just work fine because that one got changed out before everyone realized there were problems with the fuel lines and fittings. So maybe now this fuel pump will do the job that the last one wouldn't. Let's find out. See, this pump is a chrome mystery gasket / Holley unit, and if you actuate it, you can hear it sucking. So we're gonna put this one back in. Cross our fingers. This might be the solution because we got no fuel coming out of our fuel line or our carb or a filter. Ball end 8mm, which is real close to 5/16, which is hopefully what we need. I think that's what we need. I don't know why we used Allen's on just this. Actually, it's not just this. Boat guy built this motor. Is Allen's holding the valve covers on? It's probably Allen's holding the intake on. Nope.
No.
ARP's holding the intake on though. There we go. Okay. Uno.
Oh, perfect bolt holder.
It's like it was meant to be. Alright. Boom. Nope, I think that one's dead.
Interesting. And that one pumps?
This one makes pumpy noises. So which is the inlets? This side? I wonder if the eccentric on the cam, which goes to the fuel pump push rod, which activates the lever. I'm trying to remember if it's small blocks or big blocks that have two different fuel pump push rods. Two different lengths. I don't think this is working. Let's take the fittings out. We'll put it in this one.
Okay.
Can I have the adjustable wrenches?
Here's your aim.
I don't know why anyone put that on there that tight. This is an O-ring fitting. Okay.
More.
That one. Alright. How's our gasket looking? Okay. Minor inconvenience here is that the fuel pump push rod has fallen down inside the block. That's it. We needed to push it back up in the hole, and we needed to stay up in there in that hole while we install a fuel pump. You can tape that pike plug out of there and use a tool to shove it up in there, but I'm just going to use my finger so I don't have to take out that pipe plug. So I'll shove it up in there with my finger and then hope for the best. So let's try this real quick. Ooh, it slides right back down. We can shove a piece of paper towel up in there. We can hold it up with a zip tie while we slip the fuel pump in. I think we have RTV in there. We could put a dab of RTV in it. Maybe it'll slow it down. Because it's immediately sliding down when I take my finger off of it. So, yeah, so we gotta do something. All right,
Cruiser.
crank her over and I'll look for fuel. All right, kill it. We're gonna run out of battery. Our used, new to us fuel pump doesn't want to pick up fuel, and the battery's dying. So we found a little bit of gas in a gas can.
This is our lifesaver.
Yes, we're gonna try to fill the bowls there and there. And where's that rag? You're gonna want that rag set on the carb so don't burn the truck down. So we're gonna fill the carb, fire it up, and hope it picks up gas. Here we go. All right, it's now running off the fuel that's in the bowls. Question is, will it stay running? Will it pick up gas out of the tanks? I am switching to the right tank, which is usually the good one. I think Joe is looking under the hood to see if the sight glasses are staying the same level in terms of the fuel.
All right, they're sitting at the very top. It went down for a second, came back up, and you can see it go. It's
Yeah?
working.
All right.
Should we hit the road?
Yeah, I'd throw the air cleaner on it and let's roll. We got this. Just might take out their front lawn when I do it, but we got this. Okay. Okay, we're back. Let's see how long it lasts.
So I wonder if, like, just the idling, when it gets warm like that, isn't enough to pull the fuel that far.
I think that line probably needs to be unclogged, and then, yeah, once it's hot and you're expanding everything and it's more vapor than fuel, then maybe it's like, yeah, we're not sucking through this. We could clean the line out, and if it does it again after that, then we'll just stop running the mechanical pump and we'll put an electric one back there. Because, I mean, this is not a warm day.
No, it wasn't warm when Keith came either.
Nope. There's nothing left in the system that hasn't been addressed other than that main line.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I mean, I don't want to jinx this.
I'm not saying it'll work. But I'm happy to tell you, see a gas station on the right, pull in, we can fill the right side tank and our jug.
Oh, we've passed a lot of gas stations.
On the left side, we do one on the right side.
Of what? The road? You only like right side road gas stations?
Well, we need to fill the right side tank anyways.
You know, on a left side gas station, you can fill the right side tank, right?
You can, but you have to cross all this traffic and go back to work.
Oh, I thought you were superstitious or something.
We're rolling along here. I don't want to break our momentum.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
More like a pit stop, not a fuel stop.
Got it. Shade.
Yes.
All right, made it to a gas station, and we're only 5 minutes from Moe's Speed Shop.
In our adventure that started, 3-4 hours ago.
It's only 20 miles.
17 to be exact.
Oh boy. Just got gas. Truck fired right up. Drove about 2 blocks. And vapor locked, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Joe's gonna fill the bowls up again. It seems like as long as we don't stop, we're okay. So strange. I think when we get home, we're just gonna put an electric fuel pump on this thing.
So I'm transferring from our sealed gas primer bottle
Right.
to our one that we've kind of pitched the lip so we can pour it down the vent tubes.
Okay. All right.
These are custom-made primer bottles brought to you by Kirkland.
I feel like as long as we never stop, we'll get home. And then we'll just put an electric fuel pump on this thing and never deal with this again. Until the electric fuel pump dies. There's that. All I see is windshield dust. Focus. You can do it. All right, well, you guys get the point. Gas in the carburetor. Carburetor feeds. Engine starts. We drive. On the road again. I'm just gonna wait till on the road again. Oh, thank goodness. Sweet. I got no brakes. I really got no brakes.
That's how I felt yesterday.
Okay. We're just gonna wire up a little electric fuel pump in our 5-gallon gas can. Because we know that works. All reliable. This always works. As long as you don't mind a bomb riding shotgun with you. Right there. You'll get where you need to go. Oh my goodness. Just hardwire that right to the battery, connect it to the carburetor. Bob's your uncle. So I've always been curious about something, and that's whether or not you can take the little click-clock electric pump and put it in line with a mechanical pump to give it some help. And we're gonna be lazy about it. We're gonna put it after the mechanical pump and see if it will suck.
Through the mechanical pump.
Through the mechanical pump. And when that doesn't work, then we'll just hook it straight into our gas can that's sitting inside of our truck. So you gotta undo that hose. Oh, you didn't have to take that off this. Well, take that hose clamp off.
This one?
Take this line off. This is one of those days. All we were gonna do was drive 20-ish miles to go pick up my other truck, and that's turned into an adventure of just getting there. We already made it. We're 5 miles from Mo's Speed Shop, and we're now wiring in parallel an electric pump with our mechanical pump, trying to overcome what seems to be vapor lock, and we'll make it. They just might be closed when we get there. Did I mention that while we were out there working on this thing, a hornet flew up my shirt and stabbed me in the chest? Ow.
Okay.
Oh, I got stung by a wasp or something. That feels great, I tell you what. If you're ever wondering whether or not you should try that on a hot summer day, I'd say no. Just take it from me. It's probably not what you want. All right, let's see if she'll run. It'll all be worth it if I get to drive the GMC home. I think his stinger is still in me. I just kind of feel it when I move, you know? Which makes it extra annoying. It annoys me that he got the best of me. Like, he somehow got through my perimeter defenses, you know, my FSM shirt and my Yeti fur, and managed to pierce my armor. And then he got away. Like, I was like, what is that? Is that my microphone stabbing me? And I pulled my shirt up and he got me again, and then he flew out. So I didn't even get to squash his ass. And I could just feel the residuals.
Good thing.
Oh. Okay. We made it. Home of Mo's Speed Shop, Dallas, Georgia. Chassis dyno, tuners, fabricators, engine swappers. Hello, Jeff Harris. Would you believe I left 4 hours ago to get here?
It's all good.
No.
You're testing all new stuff out. This is how it works.
Oh, man. So many cool cars here. Look at that blown Cuda. Chevelle. I was saying coupe. Cushman mini truck. Shane here from Mo's Speed Shop is the dude that did the exhaust work on the OBS. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And he's gonna give us a quick tour, because every time I come in here, the cars are different and they do everything. Engine swaps, they have a chassis dyno. Jeff Harris, who runs this place, tunes. He's an expert. They do everything here. Exhaust, motor swaps, wheels, tires, suspension, brakes, you name it. I think the only thing you guys don't do here is paint.
No paint, no body work.
But you know the people.
We do.
All right. So real quick, can we walk through and you just tell us what you guys are doing?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but we got a
Let's go over there.
just Fox body, Coyote swap, 6R80.
Oh, really?
Just waiting on a Holley and some other random parts.
So if you're a Coyote guy and a Fox body guy and you want to swap the Coyote in there, I see a K member. Did somebody make a kit to do it?
Yeah, I'm not specifically sure on this. I think it's UPR made the K member and control arms on this.
Okay.
We use Team Z
Yep.
stuff quite a bit. Stiflers, transmission cross members, subframe connectors,
Cool.
all that kind of stuff makes it a little easier too.
Dude, I bet this thing's going to be rowdy.
That should be pretty good.
So if a guy brings you a stock Fox body, how long would it take you to do the swap where it's turnkey drive out?
If we weren't working on 30 different things and we were just working on that,
Yeah.
we could probably do it. Realistically, make sure everything's good, about 3 weeks.
Okay. So 6 months, people. All right. Lower your expectations.
Yeah.
They'll do it, but it's going to take a little while. All right. What else we got?
We only have probably 4 of these same swaps to do on the property right now.
Wow. 4 of them.
Yeah,
Dang. Is that a 442?
it is.
Nice.
We're waiting on some suspension components for it.
And what did you guys do so far?
We haven't done anything. We're going to do the front end suspension
Okay.
stuff so they can get the proper alignment on it.
Oh, so it's already got a ride tech set up in the back. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
same thing up front.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's a good looking car.
it is. It's a nice car.
How about the Caliente Comet?
We're in a rear disc conversion on it to match the front.
Nice.
We did the wheel wood on the front already. No,
How about the Fat Fender truck? What's this got under the hood?
that's just regular 2-valve 4.6 Crown Vic swap, sorta. It's got original chassis, Crown Vic front suspension.
That is a popular swap right there.
Yeah, some 4-link rear suspension. This particular one's got a blower on it, and we're having some throttle pedal issues, so we're trying to wire pin that out so we can get past that.
Tell me about the big wheel car. Is that a Monty?
It is.
Dude.
This has got like a 355 Chevy engine in it. We've done fuel system, converting it to fuel injection. We're doing vintage air. We put a new dash in it. The old dash was pretty ratty.
God, what are those 28s? They're
They're
huge.
huge. It's mini
They're
ton.
monsters.
It's got some ride tech suspension under it as well.
This Camaro looks like a nice little piece.
Yeah, it's LS powered, automatic, 9-inch, all your modern amenities, naturally aspirated. It'll get 3-inch exhaust. All your regular stuff to be able to go get a driver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun driver. So over here's the chassis dyno, and right now Jeff is remote tuning someone's car. He's not even there. He's just hanging out at his laptop, making stuff run better. And then later on, he'll turn his attention to this one, which is actually in person on the rollers.
This looks like it's going to be a beast.
Yeah, drag and drive car.
Yeah.
Really?
drive.
Yep. I feel like we've suckered the staff at Most Speed Shop into believing drag and drive is fun, and that they should all do it, and then they
You've
can
made
suffer
us-
the way we
you've-
suffer.
You've made us believers. We're gonna do it.
You can
Drag and
suffer the
Drive
way
is
we
the
suffer.
best motorsports event out there. I absolutely love it.
GMC Sprint. So you don't see the Sprint very often. It's always El Caminos. This thing's cool. I like how the taillights are in the bumper from the factory.
Yeah.
What's the story with the blown CUDA?
It came in with some fuel injection problems. We swapped it out from a. It's got a Holley on it now, but it had I can't think of the name.
Fast.
This looks fun.
It had a Fast on it. Had an older Fast on it. We've converted it over to Holley. We're just waiting to go road tune it.
Wow, this is a gorgeous Chevelle.
Yeah, this thing is nice.
That is a great color.
632 stick shift.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, that thing looks good.
The wheels are sick.
Yeah. That's a good looking caddy. Ooh, Godzilla motor.
Yeah.
Look at that.
At this point, we're just going to guess that the old mechanical pump just doesn't have the suction power to go through that much fuel line through a switching valve to either one of these tanks. It'll work when the fuel's cold and the engine's cold, but the moment everything gets hot in here, it's just trying to push vapors and it's not happy about it. So we're now looking for a better electric pump that we can mount somewhere along the frame rail near the tank. And, you know, Holley red, blue, black, anything. The red pump I don't think you need a regulator for, but the black and maybe the blue you might, so maybe a Holley red. And maybe that will work to get the limo truck home. If all else fails, we use the click-clack pump and we'll get there. We'll just plummet straight into our 5-gallon gas can. You know, as much as I liked it with shiny wheels on it, it looks straight up evil with these forge lines. Oh man. The B-locks are sick. All right, so what we're rocking here now are 18-inch Mickey Thompson ET Streets, 285/40/18 on the back, and that's an 18x10 wheel. And on the front, 245/40/18. That is an 18x8.5 up front. Looking good. Joe got his 5-gallon gas can rigged up. We're out of here. All right, let me get out of Joe's way here. I can already tell, though loud, not as loud as it used to be. Oh, this is better. This is so much better. I can hear it, but I can't smell it, and it's not shaking the cab anymore. I'm taking the kids to school in this tomorrow. Beautiful day to cruise. Oh my God, this is so much better to drive. We need to do a little work on the drivability tune, part throttle. Other than that, this truck is happy. There she is. She made it home. With a rubber hose going out the windshield to a gas can. Check this out. This square body Chevy dually came from the factory with a feed line for the fuel pump, right? From the back of the truck. It came with another line, much smaller, 1/4 inch in diameter, called a vapor line. Guess what that vapor line used to be hooked up to, but is not hooked up to anymore? The fuel pump. The stock fuel pump had 3 ports, right? One of them was for the vapors. And what happens is, as you're sitting in traffic, everything's getting warmer, the fuel in the pump actually starts to boil, right? And once it starts to boil, the pump can push vapors, but it doesn't want to push the liquid fuel up to the carburetor. How do we know? We pulled the fuel line off, cranked it over, and it won't pump nothing when it's hot. Cool it off, pumps just fine, fires right back up. The factory vapor line is supposed to give the vapors a place to go, back to the tank, right? What we're gonna do, because our aftermarket fuel pump doesn't have the provision for that factory vapor line, we're gonna install a 3-port fuel filter.
Look at that.
Look at that. Here's the arrow direction of travel. In, out to the carburetor, return to the tank. It's going to separate the vapors and allow them to go back to the tank. If it doesn't have to push vapors, the fuel pump can push fuel. This is going to cure 90% of our problems, and yours too. If you're at home and you have a carbureted engine in your car, and it's summertime, even if it's springtime, if you're sitting in traffic and your underhood temps skyrocket because you don't have a lot of air going through here, and you don't have a 3rd line going back to your tank to send the vapors there, this will solve your problem. 95% of the problems I feel like can be cured by that. The other 10% can be cured with one of these or something similar to it. Carb spacer. This is aluminum. We don't care about that because that's not solving anything. Aluminum is a great way to conduct heat. Transfers it really well. But the center part is phenolic, okay? This part, and they make these where the whole thing is phenolic, which would actually be ideal. I just don't happen to have one here. If you mount this plastic under the carburetor and isolate the carburetor from the hot intake manifold, the fuel in the bowls less likely to boil over. In fact, they won't. This is the key to keeping the fuel in the bowls from boiling. And this is the key to keep the fuel in the line from your hot mechanical fuel pump from boiling also. We do either or both of these. Our problems go away and we stop driving around with a 5-gallon gas can and electric fuel pump over here. The other thing you can also do is you can put an electric pump in there, and that will also solve the problem. And it all stems from the gasoline, right? Today's gas is not the same as the gas when this thing was made in the 80s or when your car was made in the 70s or 60s. That fuel had a higher boiling point. Today's fuel, especially with ethanol in it, has a lower boiling point. So it's boiling over at a lower temperature than it used to, right? EFI systems, totally closed. They don't vent to the atmosphere. They don't need the same properties that the fuel used to have in the 60s and 70s when everything was vented to the atmosphere and they didn't want gas to evaporate. Today's gas can evaporate quickly. They don't need some of those additives in there and that chemical composition that also lowers the boiling point or raises the boiling point. So yeah, the gas sucks today. but 10 bucks solves that problem. Yeah, we're gonna put this in and then we'll just go drive it. In fact, we'll put this in before we even isolate the carburetor, and I bet it gets better. Might even totally fix it. Good news, the mailman came, which means I actually have more things that I can show you to cure vapor lock or percolating. We talked about how we had this spacer, which is aluminum with a phenolic center. I had actually ordered another one. This is a phenolic spacer. It's only a 1/2 inch thick, so if you have abbreviated underhood clearance, you know, like you can't stick a 1 inch or a 2 inch spacer under there, they make thinner ones. Still, plastic, 2 gaskets, it's gonna insulate your carb from the hot intake manifold better than not having one. We have fire sleeve from WireCare. We are going to sleeve our fuel line, which has to run over the hot intake, the hot valve cover down the hot side of the engine block with this, which will help lower the temperature. There are other things you can do. I believe this is from Heat Shield Products. It's got adhesive back on it. You can wrap this around your fuel line. The other thing you can always do is take that fuel line that goes through a mechanical pump and would normally run up the front of the engine block, loop it up the inner fender, go all the way back to the firewall, and then connect it to your carburetor. Get it away from the engine completely. That will always help. I was gonna test each one of these by themselves, starting with this, right? This, I believe, will cure 95% of our problem. However, we're kind of short on time today, so we're going to put the phenolic spacer under the carburetor. We are gonna sleeve our fuel line. We are gonna install our filter and connect the vent line to the vapor line that's on the frame rail of this truck already. Then we'll go road test, and if this thing will go down the road slowly, like around town for 15 or 20 minutes, we know it's fixed. The highway was never the problem. It was when we were going really slow, had no air coming through here, and a hot engine, hot exhaust, closed hood, boiled our fuel. That was the problem. All right, so step 1, we'll get the air cleaner off, we'll get the carb off, we'll disconnect our fuel line, we'll get rid of our electric fuel pump, we'll start replumbing. One of the interesting things that I was thinking about last night is that this is a problem that existed with this truck even when it had the stock 454 and Quadrajet carburetor on here, even when it had all of the original emissions stuff on here with the charcoal canister, the stock air cleaner, and the stock fuel pump, which would have had the vent line going into the frame, and then the fumes coming out of the carb vents would have vented into the air cleaner and gone out to the charcoal canister. It had all that stuff, and yet it still had a dieseling problem. Which that part is, you know, confounding me. But I know this is a step in the right direction for a truck that is missing all of that stuff, like ours. All right, everybody. We now have an insulator right here on top of the thick gasket, another gasket, then the carb base. It lifted it up 1/2 inch. Pretty sure our air cleaner stud's still gonna clear our hood, which is good. We have heat sleeved the fuel line going down the front of the motor. Joe is about to hook up our vapor line to the factory hard line in the frame rail, which will send it back to the tank switching device. Oh, one other thing I do want to talk about is there's 2 variants of this. I'll put them in the description of the video. There is one where the vapor line is wide open inside. There's another one where the orifice is closed off a bit, and it's, I don't know, it looks like 50 thousandths of an inch diameter in there. Ideally, you would know whether your vehicle had a factory vapor line and had the orifice already necked off down there at the gas tank. I couldn't find the wide open one, so I'm going to put this one in, even though we have a factory vapor line and odds are good at the back there. It's already necked down, so it's going to get necked down twice, but there's still a hole. It will still help, even though this is necked down. It should still be good. And there's our factory hard line that we're going to hook up to. You know, and again, this all stems from originally that fuel pump, if it was stock or an aftermarket, you know, faithful reproduction, it would have had a third port. This one doesn't. So this $10 part is the fix for a car that didn't have a factory vapor line. You know, if yours didn't have one, buy that, run a hose back to your tank, vent it right back into your tank or the filler neck to your tank, and you will be good to go. Okay, we have let the truck sit in my driveway, running, idling, warming up to operating temp. Essentially, we did the worst thing possible. No airflow through the radiator other than what's being pulled in by the fan. Doing that speeds up the process of making the fuel percolate and the thing vapor lock and not go anywhere. Our next episode, guys, just so you know, is Joe and I going on a road trip to North Carolina to a mini truck show, the biggest mini truck show I'm aware of in the country. And we're gonna take 2 mini trucks that we haven't road tripped in a long time. One of them I've never road tripped, but we're gonna do it. So we're headed to the warehouse to do 2 things: pick up 1 mini truck and find out, did our anti-vapor lock $10 fix actually work? And I say $10 because that's what that fuel filter cost. It's $10 at O'Reilly's. That should do almost everything we needed. The other stuff we did obviously is more than $10. You know, the isolator was $24. The heat sleeves probably another $20. Those things you can do, but not as big of a benefit in my opinion, because here's the thing: even though you isolate the carb from the intake, that carb is still going to heat up thanks to all the radiant heat in the engine compartment from the exhaust and everything else, and the engine block and the heads. That fuel line that we sleeved is still in the engine compartment, so eventually it's going to get hot. This is just prolonging, you know, how long it takes that to happen. The real benefit is sending the fuel vapor from the main feed line back to the tank so that the fuel pump can keep pushing raw fuel through the fuel line up to the carburetor.
Oh my God.
None of that'll fix Joe. All right, well, down the highway like we're going is never where we have problems. It's when we stop at a stoplight. So if we get caught at any of these lights, it'll be a good test because the engine is up to 160 degrees now. All right, we're at 170 degrees. It is cruising down the highway at part throttle. It'll settle in at high 12s, low 13s. Like, it's tuned really nice. I love driving this truck. My dream, as twisted as it is to get it really clean, take the bubble tint off, put some 22s on it, shampoo the inside of it, and take my wife out on a date and all our friends. You know, just pile this thing with a bunch of people and go to the bar. I don't know if she'll say yes, but I'm gonna try. I say next year for mini nats, this is on airbags and the C10 is fixed, and we bring both of those. Yeah, we rent a 3-car gooseneck and put the OBS truck, the C10, and the mini truck behind it, and we'll go to mini nats. Wow, still at 170 degrees. Right, we're getting off the highway, and we'll drive around town at slow speed, get stuck at stop signs and lights, and that's where this thing fails. All right, we're now at 180 degrees, so it's warmer. I'm gonna sit here longer than I need to. There's somebody behind me, never mind. Okay. We stopped, and it didn't turn off. That's good news.
You didn't even try to. It was idling nice.
Yeah. If we make it all the way to the warehouse with this thing not dying, we know it's fixed. And if I somehow shut the key off and it doesn't diesel, oh man, that will feel so good. Dare I switch tanks? We're now running on, is that this side?
That would be yours, I guess.
This has been the problem tank, so we're now on the problem tank. So we just drove 20 minutes. The last 5 minutes just around town, just stoplights, stop signs, 10 miles an hour. Never once did this thing try to shut off or bog or anything. I'm letting it sit here, and I'm gonna turn it off and see if it still diesels. Okay, so that part's not fixed. But we'll take some timing out of it, and maybe that problem will go away. In the meantime, I'll just shut it off in gear. There we go. Okay, so our dieseling problem is the next thing we got to attack. That's for another episode. I'm claiming vapor locking problems cured, gone. And that's it for this episode of Finnegan's Garage. Don't forget, you can win my mini truck, which we're about to go inside and grab, because the next episode is us road tripping 2 mini trucks to a mini truck show. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't forget, fsmgarage.com is where you go to enter to win my mini.